That's right. If you know, join us. You're listening to the Train Radio Show right here on Xclusive One Draw. And tonight we got a special guest in the building. We got Wesu Wallace in the house. Good night to you, sir.
Good night. What's up?
I'm good. How you doing? How's life for you right now?
Life right now is pretty good, man. I won't complain. Literally, yeah. I'm here in Barbados, which is great.
Back in the beautiful island.
Back in Barbados, this is awesome. Yeah. So I can't really complain. Tell you what, England has been cold.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous. It's getting sunny now. but winter's been holding on like a dead horse.
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah, definitely. You can understand. No, I realized you were born in Africa.
Yes, I was.
That's your birthplace.
That's my birthplace.
Correct. And you came here to Barbados.
Yes.
As a teenager. At what age you came to Barbados?
No, I came to Barbados. I was 10 years old.
Oh, 10 years old.
10 years old. I was 10 years old. Alright, so I did I think a year in primary school here, and then I went to secondary school from there. So I'm sure you're gonna ask me what schools I went to.
But yeah, before we get there.
So I did secondary school here in Barbados.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I spent my entire teenage life in Barbados.
So you have parents or grandparents that's from Barbados?
My grandfather is Barbadian.
Oh, that's what the connection can move.
Yeah, that's how the connection is. But no one in my family is born in the same country, funny enough. Oh. At least in my immediate family. So my mother, my father, my sister, and I were all born in separate countries.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so, but my mother's the only Caribbean born. Yeah, so.
And which Caribbean that is?
She's from Guyana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my mom.
So you're a mixture.
I am a full mongrel. Full mongrel.
For those who don't understand full mongrel, explain that term today.
Oh, that's literally a mixture of culture and race,
and
I mean that, to the fullest. So, coming down from my father's mother, who's Greek, and his father being a black Zambian, and I'm talking about proper dark, black Zambian. And then my mom being Guyanese, let's just not get into that, So we have that. So we have that mixture already in culture and in race, So so that's what I mean by being a full mongrel. Although mongrel is not really the word that I want to use when I think about it, because that sounds like it's negative. No, it's actually a really good thing.
We have similar background like Rihanna, because her mom is also from Guyana as well.
Yes, we have very similar backgrounds. I mean, closer than you think. Oh yeah, closer than you think. But it's not about Rihanna right now. It's about me.
Yes, I know. We're not talking about Rihanna. No, we just had to say.
Yeah.
No. In the meantime, tell me. You say you came to Barbados at 10 years old. You went to school here. Which school did you attend, sir?
Right. So I did first form to third form at MAPS College, and then I did third form at the Adventist School, and then I finished off my secondary school at Alexandra. However, a lot of people might remember me from Harrison College, and that was because I spent a lot of time at Harrison College during my final year, and I mean so much so that people thought I was a school student at Harrison College. I was there almost every day for a while, and that was because Harrison College had a huge influence on my career choice, which was music.
Definitely.
And because I transferred from school to school at really awkward times, I didn't get a chance to do or get entered into the music programs at any school. So when I got interested in music, it was a bit late. So going to Harrison College and spending all my time there was just a way to kind of develop my music interest.
Do you say you got in a bit late? At what age a bit late you consider?
What age did I get into music? 15.
Oh, nice, interesting.
15. So, at 15, I wasn't very good, but I
well, you're good now.
Well, it seems that way. Seems that I'm all right now. I'm getting attention, which is good. we need attention.
Yes, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
No, experienced singers like Stevie Wonder, John Legend, Michael Jackson, how these artists inspire you to sing and also write songs?
Well, for me, music wasn't a natural thing. It was something that I wanted to do.
Mm.
So in order to do it, I had to research these people, research how they sing, how they play. At that time, I wasn't, like in the early days, all I did was sing.
Mm.
So I had to pick up the guitar, and one of my friends, Garvey Griffith, who was a guitarist at that time at Harrison College, just watching him was an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So, he started me out on guitar basically, and then from then on I started researching all these other people who sing and play.
Mm-hmm.
So Stevie Wonder came into play, although I couldn't actually play keys at that time. So I had Stevie Wonder, the John Legend, obviously that was of later years, and who else was there? There's Michael Jackson, there was everyone. Now these people influenced me because as I was learning how to sing,
Mm-hmm.
they all had different styles,
Mm-hmm.
and my capabilities to copy
Mm-hmm.
were not as strong, and I always thought that these were the kings. So I felt, well, if I need to get good, I need to be at least on par vocally with these particular artists, and then develop my own style. So that's how they influenced me.
Yeah, well, there's one question that came in from a fan today that they tell me to ask you. Would you say that playing the piano/guitar helps you to pen music easily?
Do you know what? Everyone has a different writing style. Every single person
Definitely.
has a different writing
Definitely.
style, and there is an advantage
Mm-hmm.
to playing an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a guitarist now because I had an injury about 9-10 years ago, or
Yeah.
nearly 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it broke my hand, so I can't really play guitar for very long. But as a piano player, and being that I've moved on to piano, I find that my understanding of music as a whole allows me to write easier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily saying that I wouldn't have been able to write
Mm-hmm.
just as easily without playing an instrument. It's just that I understand the language a little better. So when I want to make something sound a little different,
Mm-hmm.
instead of having that generic, the same things that we kind of hear,
Sure.
the ear candy that we used to.
Correct.
Playing an instrument helps me to deliver that in a different, or show it in a different perspective.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. But I thought eventually you could get back on that guitar, eventually.
You know what? I miss it, but the piano gives me a lot of pleasure, so I'm not really fussed. I mean, it was hard because when I got the injury, I wasn't actually able to work in the industry for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, my whole act is that I'm a solo act, so I play and I sing, and not being able to play the guitar, I couldn't actually get any work, and I couldn't get any session work in the studio, so it was really rough. So that's why I learned how to play the piano.
Had to train yourself all over again.
I had to train myself all over again, and for those people who see me now thinking, oh, I've been playing piano all my life, no, I started playing piano in 2010. Alright, so, and that was it. And when I decided to pick up the piano, I spent 3 months, 8 hours a day, every day, going at it.
Dedication.
It's dedication, but it was more desperation for me,
Mm.
because I didn't want to leave the music industry. Music industry is where I've nurtured my nature. So anytime that I'm doing something outside of the music industry, I become miserable and
Yeah.
dejected, drained, and uninterested in anything else.
Okay, get it coming from. No, I realized you bring out an album. Tell me about the album that you brought back in 2012.
Alright, so the album This Is My Party, I had released that in 2012. That album took me 4 years to do. Took me 4 years to do because I penned everything but one song.
Mm-hmm.
I composed everything.
Mm-hmm.
I played everything apart from one song where I actually had Damian Taylor, who passed away last year. He played the trumpet in the title track of the album, which is This Is My Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it took me 4 years to develop these songs, to make them sound at least different from one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and go in a nice little flowetry from beginning to end. And so that album, I did that album to prove to myself that I can do it. for myself. I've been working in this industry for now. This is 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that time, I was like, well, I've been in the music industry for a while. Obviously, not as long as others have been, but I've been in it for a while. At least let me prove to myself that I can do my own album, my way, without anyone sticking their nose in and changing my ideas. So that's how that album came about. What I'm working on now is it's a lot more serious, because the first album wasn't really about sales.
Okay.
It wasn't about sales, although people like it. People like songs from that album.
It was just to get your name out there.
I don't think it was about getting my name out there. It was another avenue of making money, with people buying it, but it wasn't about that. It was more selfish and personal than getting my name out there. If people liked it, they liked it. If they didn't, so what? That was my idea. Whereas the current music now that I'm working on, it's more about involving the fans that I've grown over the years. Letting them hear what I have, what's going on with me, and music that they can enjoy.
No, you see, you have a real powerful voice.
Wow.
I watch your videos of you on The Voice and stuff like that. You have a powerful. You sing soul, you sing pop, you sing rock, R&B. But I want to know, what is neo jazz?
Do you know what? Neo jazz is just a term. Well, at least I don't actually have the original definition, but neo jazz is just a term that we've been using to kind of mold what's current R&B with a jazzy feel. So when things kind of sound soulful and go over the standard listener's head, and that's not in any disrespectful way to anyone who doesn't agree with what I'm saying. It's just that we listen to R&B when we expect certain things, and then we listen to jazz and we expect certain things, and that fusion sometimes goes over people's heads. Some people, not everyone, and not even a lot, but when it does, we still need to have a definition for it, and that's where I think neo jazz came about. That may not necessarily be accurate, so don't take my word for it, but that's what I think it's all about. So that's what I think neo jazz is.
No. Okay, thank you so much. No, let's talk about The Voice that everybody listening wants to know about. No, you entered The Voice. Tell us your process leading up to The Voice stage.
Well, you see, television makes everything seem so easy.
Right?
It really was not a very easy process, because The Voice itself, the application needed to be done in April in 2017. Alright. So I did the application, and I got the confirmation for my first audition. I was here in Barbados.
Wow.
My first audition confirmation was at the end of May. And then the date that they gave me was the second week in June. So I had to get a ticket to go to the UK, which was insanely expensive, to go do my first filtering stage of auditions, and that trip was 3 stages. So you had to go and sing in a group of people.
Thousands of people?
No, it's not like that. You go into this room, it's a production team thing. You go into this room, there's 10 people, and all 10 of you have to sing in front of the production team, and then they send you out and call you back in and tell you who's gone through to the next stage. And so we had 3 of those stages. Alright, so you have that one, then the second one where you have to sing for the production team by yourself, and then they talk about you and the things that you want to do, and whether you can play an instrument or not, and then the next stage was an interview, which is pretty standard. Then I had to fly back to Barbados, and then I had to go back for another filtering stage. So I had to get another ticket. And then I had to fly back to Barbados, and then I had to wait for them to tell me, okay, so you are now gonna go to the blind auditions. So I had to fly back, do the blind auditions. I actually got through, as we will see. Came back to Barbados, and then I had to go back because I had to do all these other stages. And funny enough is that we get to watch it in 2018. The show is The Voice 2018, but the majority of the filming is done in 2017.
Whoa.
Yeah, because it's a television show. It's not something that just happens.
Correct.
You know, so people don't just turn up from out of the blue and go. There's a lot going on. You have to go through psychiatry and all of that nonsense. You know, to see that your mental health is worthwhile for being on the show, because they don't want people to to go on the show and then they have a meltdown and then they commit suicide. No one wants to be attached to that.
It's true. It's true.
So you have all of that going. You have a psych profile going on, and then they have to check you out, check out what's going on in your history, what you're doing for a living, and what kind of person you are. And then I had to have police background checks and a lot. It's not as simple as
you don't
just
see all of that.
No, you're not going to see
of
that.
Course.
And it sounds like harassment sometimes, but it's actually a really positive thing, because if you have the goal to go further in your career, then you need to be hitting all those checks. Like, okay, this is done, that's done, that's done, that's done.
Bucket list.
Yeah, almost like a bucket list. So that's what that process was, and it was tiring and expensive. But it was done, and that was it.
No, when you got the news that you had been confirmed to go, where were you? Were you at home with a friend? Oh,
I was at home.
Well, show me the reaction you got.
Well, I really tried to stay composed. Not because I am composed, but if you've ever seen a swan, or rather a duck, swimming in a pond, they all look graceful, but underneath they're paddling. So when I got, they're like, okay, so you're getting through to do the blind auditions. I wanted to jump out of my skin, through the roof, and run around the neighborhood. But I did this. Thank you. That was that, And they're like, oh, you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm just super excited. They're like, oh, you don't sound excited. I'm like, yes, I am.
But you don't want to show so much.
I don't know if it's a natural thing that I don't want to show too much. I think that over time that I've tried to keep myself composed. But I am really excited and excitable, just like everyone else. And even when Will.i.am turned his chair for me, in my head I was jumping all over the place. I was I was literally neurotic. I was going blah blah blah, screaming, bashing things. But the only thing I saw myself do on camera was this. So it's not to say that I'm not excited. I'm super excited. And then I find that if there's one thing that you want to know about me, when I'm excited I stutter a lot.
Oh.
Not like it's a speech impediment of any kind. It's just that I struggle finding my words. So I'll do something like this, which is like right now. I'll be I'll stammer and I'll stutter just to get something out because I'm excited. And that's what was happening on The Voice. However, what they showed on television was a shortened, edited clip of what actually went on. So there were things that I said that didn't get to be seen on television. I mean, they cut a lot of what was said by the coaches, and they just literally went on to the stage where I started beatboxing with Will.i.am and all of that, and that in itself caught more attention than I ever dreamed. I didn't do it on purpose. It was just a thing that happened, So the interaction was great. It actually caused a big ruckus in the UK, where they all thought I was going to win the show, and I'm like, what is going on here?
But it had you to win too, and I'm sure a lot of Asians had you to win, and a lot of people around the world too.
I tell you what, I was so sad, thinking that I was going to disappoint everyone, because it's not that other people on the show aren't skilled or talented. I mean, a lot of them haven't worked anywhere near as hard as I have, but everyone has their own time zone, and I didn't think that I was going to win the show, not because of lack of ability, skill, and talent, the words that we want to use, but because I may not necessarily fulfill the profile of what they're looking for. my age has a lot to do with it. You know, I'm in my 30s, and they're probably looking for someone who can live in the music for a longer period. Yeah. However, that doesn't really matter when you think about it. You know, the music that I do is still, it appeals to generations much younger than I am. You know, but the way that they're looking at it from a realistic longevity perspective, point of view,
Correct.
whatever you want. Yeah, so I didn't think that I was gonna win the show. You know, I did think, however, that I would get into the finals. You know, based on my ability. But then when I started to notice certain things, I was like, you know what? No, that's probably not gonna happen. You know, and then I started to get a little sad that I was gonna disappoint Barbadians, you know,
You didn't
across
really
the
disappoint
world.
us. We wanted to win, but you didn't disappoint us. We
Yeah,
still do your
so
thing.
yeah, so I was a little sad, at that. But in the end, like you said, you know, no one felt like I disappointed them. You know, I did get quite a few harsh messages about the show, not about me, about the show. You know, people wanting to boycott the show because you know they thought that I was unfair, and you know, yeah. That I tell you what, fans, you know who you are. I appreciate it. I really did, because it lifted my spirits.
No, would you consider joining it again, or America Idol, or even the Four?
Okay, well, this is not my first stint at a reality television show. Right? So, back in the early 2000s, 2002, I was on Pop Idol, which then became American Idol. And because of the lack of social media, you know, people didn't really know about it. But I actually got further in that show than I did in The Voice, you know, and I was known for a lot longer. And that short stint of fame lasted longer on Pop Idol than it did in The Voice. And I mean, that's not to say that things aren't happening now. It's just that back then, when I got eliminated from the show, I wasn't mature enough to handle that. And so I quit music. I quit music for 4 years. You know, and it just...
Well, we're glad they came back.
I had to. I had to. You know, like I was saying to you earlier, when I'm not in the music industry, when I'm not doing things that are in the music industry, I start to become dejected, and I feel rejected. I feel depressed. I feel everything that's negative. You know, so I had to come back.
Well, no, I was screaming behind my TV, especially when you're performing, and they seen the judge there just in the chairs. At first, they didn't want to turn, and that's Will.i.am come at the last moment, saved by the bell.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm like, yes, Will.i.am, you made the right choice. Or Jennifer Hudson just, you know, she could have pressed it ever since.
Well, you see, what the viewers aren't getting at that point is that the coaches, they have 10 acts that they have to fill on their team. At that point, everyone but Jennifer Hudson only had 2 spaces left.
Oh.
Jennifer Hudson had 4. And there were 2 singers on her team that were similar to me already. So she was like, she's not sure if she wants a third, you know, of the same thing. And those are the things that were cut out from the edited show. You wouldn't have known that. So she actually wanted to turn, but she was like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense. Should I do it?" Which is why you see in some of the clips she's like,
interesting voice,
you know.
She's
Will.i.am knew that he didn't have anyone on his team that sounded like me.
Yeah.
You know, so it was straight away, bam, that's what he was gonna do. You know, and again, the show The Voice, yes, it's The Voice, but the coaches are actually in competition, not us. Yeah, the coaches are trying to win.
Yeah.
You know, so they're choosing the right act to win. You know, it's like when you go to the garrison and you bet on a horse.
Yeah.
It's not that every horse is not good, but you're betting on this horse, so you don't care about the others. You want this horse to win. You know, so that's what was going on. So Tom Jones, actually, you know, out of all of the coaches, Tom Jones was probably my biggest fan, because he really, really liked what I was doing, you know, and he only had 1 space left. He only had 1 space left. So it was like,
I know, I do.
yeah, you know. and I took will.i.am's second last space. Yeah, so after that, that was it. He only had one space left, and so the person that had all the spaces to go was Jennifer Hudson, really. And so she had some really quirky acts on her team. But it was a very exciting and fruitful time. I can't say that I regret any bit of it.
Yeah.
I certainly would encourage anyone to do it. But there's a lot. Excuse me. There's a lot that goes into the show. It's not just, oh yeah, you turn up and you do it. No. It's a lot harder than that.
I'm sure a lot of nerves went through when you realize at first it wasn't turning the chair, but then really just what went through your head?
Well,
take us a brain a little bit.
Okay, so, and this is the truth. So I'm performing, and halfway through the song they haven't turned. So when I started the chorus, I'm like, you say I'm crazy. You don't think I know what you done.
Hey.
When I was doing all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, they're not turning. I'm like, well, this was a lot of money just gone down the drain. Okay, just sing. So I started singing, and then at the end of the song, I thought, okay, I was just gonna put the microphone down and walk away. But you have, I think it's about 30 seconds. After your song ends, 30 seconds you wait for a coach to possibly turn, and then you walk off the stage. So as the song ended, literally will.i.am's chair turned. I was like, really? Is that what's going on here in life? What the hell? So I actually did not think that the chairs were going to turn, truthfully. Because I was the last performer that night. And the coaches actually only turned for one other person that night. And that person was on will.i.am's team. So will.i.am was the only person that actually turned for anyone the night that I performed.
Well, you leave everything on that stage that night, from even the beatbox with the will.i.am.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jennifer Hudson doing her thing in there. You had the whole world. You had millions of people watching. So I'm sure that after this opportunity, a lot of doors have opened up for you.
Doors have opened up, and it's just I'm in that limbo stage where I can not talk about it.
I get you.
But it's good, Why I'd encourage people to do this thing, The Voice or X Factor or American Idol, whichever one you want to do, is that it allows you to be noticed by people who wouldn't ordinarily notice you.
Correct.
So here in Barbados, we're lucky and unlucky. We have a fantastic live music engine, but we don't have enough people around to scout our talented artists here. So doing something like The Voice or X Factor or American Idol, you get publicity that you can never pay for.
True.
I've reached, and this is something that's blowing my mind every time I say it. I've reached over 1 million people on that one audition video. Prior to this, I've never even reached more than 4,000 people on any video that I've done. And that 4,000 has been over time accumulating people. Oh, I've watched that video. Not like, oh, bam, this has gone viral. So that's promotion you can never pay for.
That's right.
Ever. And then because of that, you will be noticed by labels. You will be noticed by scouts. You will be noticed by management companies. You will be noticed by entertainment agencies. You will be noticed by virtually every single person that you want to be noticed by. So it's not even just about getting a record deal. It's about being able to expand on what you already have.